Hey guys, thanks for clicking. So in this video, I'm going to take you through a fun little pet project of mine. I'm going to go ahead and weld these fabricated intakes I made, link there. And after that, we're going to go ahead and start playing around with the rotary tool, get them port matched into the cylinder head and do a light cleanup on the head itself. So it should be a nice little free-flowing induction system. But anyway, hope you enjoy the video. Alright, so we are on to some fun stuff here, and that is port matching and blending these intakes that I just welded up. So you saw in another video linking above now that I fabricated these intakes using the stock CX or GL flange here, and then welding some Schedule 40 aluminum with some fabricated flanges here for the VM34 carbs. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So they fit the head really well already, but I just want to optimize it because I'm a big nerd about this stuff. So probably won't be able to see this. See if I can make it visible. So looking in there, I've already got this one pretty well dialed on the intake side. And what I have left to do is a tiny bit of filing on the head, on the radius that way, where it has to curve. Otherwise, it looks pretty good. So one thing you don't want to do, like if you're ever going to do something like this, don't just go like hogging everything out and making it large, because if it's a larger port that it has to travel through, you lose velocity. So you actually want to try to maintain kind of a smaller port when possible, or at least a port that's matched to the size of your inlet. So you want a consistent size, you know, going into the back of the valve. Now, note, I am no professional engine builder, anything like that. I can mechanically kind of do this stuff. And then this is just kind of trying to optimize stuff. So I'm not going to have any results as far as like, you know, flow numbers or anything like that on this. I'm not going to have any kind of evidence, but, you know, just using my brain, I kind of know, you know, a general guideline to go by here. So hopefully just going to optimize it. And it will perform. You definitely don't want to polish it on your intake side, because you want a little bit of basically it's like a puddle of fuel kind of trapped in suspension there for the airflow to go by, and also just continue to atomize fuel as it goes into the chamber. Anyway, I'm gonna set the camera up. We're gonna continue buzzing around with the die grinder here and some rotary bits and files and picks and whatnot, and we will have some good results. So yeah. Okay, so what I'm doing is just barely taking off some material. I'm getting just real precise. I'm not changing the shape of any kind of the port or any of the port or anything like that. I'm just barely taking off some material here. So as the air is coming into the intake, it bends. So I'm just smoothing this transition. There's just a little tiny bump right there, and that will help that flow there. And then where they cast, you can see that line that travels down into the intake. That's just the part line for the mold. So I'm just going to kind of knock that down a little bit, but I'm not taking any real material out. I'm not reshaping anything, just cleaning it up. And then we'll take some really rough sandpaper and hit that again and kind of just rough it up. So we'll give it one consistent kind of surface. And then flipping the head over, I will likely, if I get a bit small enough, I will likely try to clean up the backside in here. Since we're at it, I'll clean up the exhaust. We'll just have some fun with it. But once I'm done with this side, I'll compare it to an untouched intake and head. Maybe you can see this. Just barely touching it. I know I look super nerdy right now, but what I'm trying to do here is, you see how the intake goes up and then it has to curve? I'm trying to create almost like a reverse radius here. So I'm trying to take out a little bit of material. That way the air can go a little bit out and then start curving in, instead of like hitting a dip. So the inside's easy, the short side radius, you just kind of blend that a little bit and then that goes pretty smooth. But as far as this, so I'm trying to take some material out in this area. Not right here at the line, but back a little bit further, because right here is the low spot. So creating like a nice transition into the head there. And if you've noticed, I haven't actually touched the diameter of this, because that's the diameter we're matching to the head. So yeah, just blending here and there and just cleaning it up. Should be good. Before. After. Alright guys, so I have spent a little bit more time on these intake manifolds here as well as the heads, and I think I have them pretty dang good. So if you can see inside here, we have our smooth transitions into the head. I know it's hard to see here, but anyway, I didn't take off a lot of material, and if it's any consolation, the compressor I use is a 60 gallon. So I had the thing fully charged, and this is on the second head, where I knew kind of where I was going. So I had that thing fully charged, shut the power off to it, and I was able to get one complete head done as well as the intake without having to recharge the air in the system. So that says a lot for how little material I was actually able or required to remove. Because like I said in the beginning, you don't want to remove a lot, because if you just go making a port larger, you can potentially decrease your air velocity and therefore your volumetric efficiency. And I am no pro at this. I would consider myself a novice. I ported a set of cylinder heads on a Mustang I had back in the day, and I just wanted to do it again, and this was just kind of a fun pet project for me. So I'm not going to claim any real deal like horsepower increases, anything like that. I just wanted to know that it was done. So anyway, take that as you will. But for now, it's actually time to go ahead and get my valves cleaned up, and then I will lap those into the head and reassemble, go ahead and paint the heads, and then, today's Saturday for me, and I should be getting the rings for the short block here on Monday. So hopefully Monday I can get this thing put back together and at least get the heads back on it. And soon after that, get this thing back in the bike. So anyway, hopefully this is kind of a fun thing to watch. I know it's not something you probably see a lot of, especially in like the CX world. You know, there's not a whole lot of, I don't know, information or performance information out there. So this is just fun for me to do, and hope you guys enjoyed. Here's a good view of the heads and where I took material off of. So, bottom side of the port on the intake. So just a little bit kind of right in the middle there, and then just smoothing the transition upward. And all I did was clean up the casting mark on the side, on both sides there. And then just trying to clean up here, so ended up using bunch of sandpaper, the Dremel, and just only a little bit really with the rotary just to get that initial shape. But I actually have not opened up the diameter a single bit. Now on the top side, this is a little bit more tricky as far as blending, because again, not messing with the overall diameter of the opening, just cleaning up that entrance so it didn't have as, like if you're looking at it from the side, it didn't have as sharp of an upward angle. So this is more of a gradual bend now. And again, just cleaning up the sides. So that should help a lot. And yeah. Yep. All right. Clean gray line right there. The intakes I know aren't going to take too much to get right where they need to be. The exhaust takes a little bit more. They're slightly rough, so it's going to take a little bit more lapping. I don't know if you'll see this. And whenever I do this, I actually have my drill on the low speed side. I'm not putting a whole ton of pressure on here at all. Just letting the lapping compound do the work. And what I haven't shown here already is me taking a thin nylon brush on the drill and actually cleaning the guides out and making sure those are clean before I put the valve back in to rotate a bunch like this. Almost there. I'm going to go back just a hair longer on this one. Okay, that's looking good. They're not brand new, but much, much better. And before reassembly, of course, I'm going to go take everything here and hit it with solvent and whatnot, and air dry it, and just everything will be very clean. Last valve, and probably the last of this. Whoa. We are good to go on that one. Sweet. All right. Now the fun stuff. Endless cleaning before reassembly. All right.